there I am on the far right.
Definitely leaner.
Yeah. But that's why I said I can't tell if that leanness, I gave up a lot of size. I don't know.
I believe you lost some size in your legs to get that extra conditioning. I do believe you lost some of your quad sweep there.
Yeah.
Upper chest is not as full. Working your way to the middle, that's good.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with conditioning.
And so there's some of it I was maybe rolling a little bit better.
A little bit better, but I still think we can get more out of that.
More out, yeah.
Yeah.
And I tried to not have as much gap in there.
Definitely an improvement on that.
Now here was a bad mistake. I told them that my hands were slipping, so they kind of told me to maybe put my hands on my trunks.
Yeah.
But then I definitely closed off.
Yeah, and that we got to get some shoulder mobility there to increase your shoulder mobility to be able to get that rotation right there. You're more level there. That's better.
But it's not.
Hands are a little bit lower. That's better.
Yeah.
I think we need to do a little stretching too. We need to get some stretching.
Some stretching. Yeah.
That's just a really tough class, though. I mean, you're at the national level here. This is the best of the best coming out here. Right there, you're opening in your back really good. You changed your foot positioning on there from the Oklahoman.
Yeah.
Not opening up.
Not opening up. Yeah.
See how that guy just to your left is really opened up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Foot positioning again to be able to hold those poses without any shaking or anything like that. Great side pose again.
Not turning too much with the tricep? No,
not at all. No. I have a variation of that I might show you to see if you like better.
Yeah.
That's a good move right there. That's a great move.
Yeah. I didn't stay there too long. Seeing maybe too much gap in there.
Slightly, maybe a little bit. You can straighten out a little bit. You might want to extend one of those legs and show off the definition of it a little bit more. That's kind of more of a power stance. You might want to save that stance for that pose right there. When that hand's overhead, the abdominal thigh, they specifically want a leg extended out in front.
Okay.
Could have come up a little bit more, would have stand a little higher, be a little bit bigger.
Face the rear, back double bicep.
Yeah, we need to change that foot positioning there because they specifically want a foot extended back. You didn't extend your leg back right there.
Oh, I see.
That could be, a slight deduction for not extending the leg back. Yeah, you're kind of frogging those legs out again.
Yeah.
That guy was just like 4 inches shorter than you.
Yeah. And he got first. I'm pretty sure he's second, and I got third on that one.
Yeah. It was. I mean, that's a tough call there.
Well, he's got pretty good legs.
Yeah.
We're talking with the guy in the yellows.
He's about 4 inches shorter than you, and you guys are probably weighing about the same. If you guys weighing about the same.
Well, no. Here, I weighed in 2 days. I was only 162 there.
You're only 162. That's right there.
Yeah. He may have had me by about 10 pounds at least.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Even if you guys weigh the same and he's 4 inches shorter than you, he's still going to look bigger and thicker. But if you were 162 there because you were still carbing up, still carbing up right there, right?
Yeah. I was the day prior. Then the time we dried out and got on stage.
Yeah, that's definitely leaner, but there's always that fine balance between your conditioning level and losing some of the size. It's that delicate balance, and you've got to time it just right and have your timing down to where you've a lot of times people are trying to peak for that one day. I believe that you need to be basically in contest form for at least 2 to 3 weeks beforehand. That way you can play around with your carbs and stuff like that and see what your timing is to when you're going to be at your best. Yeah. Because if you're just pulling down to get there and then hoping you can carb back up within a couple of days and hit it perfectly, you'd have to be a rocket scientist to do that. Yeah.
Well, then the other issue going into this is that when you start doing taking out the carbs and doing all that, it's foggy. It's just foggy.
Yeah.
And then posing is harder to do. And so
Yeah.
now people are telling me things to remember, and I'm having a hard time remembering them.
We call that prep brain.
Yeah.
Where you ask the same question 3 times inside of an hour and
Yeah.
you still don't remember the answer.
But that's why I felt like I really needed to have my posing down long before.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah,
Your posing needs to be like muscle memory, just like when you're
Yeah.
lifting or doing a specific movement. You don't even have to think about it. You just
Yeah.
want to get there, hold it, and be there. And you did really good about getting into your poses. There's a lot of people that are on that stage that were sitting there winding up, taking their time to get to the poses and stuff like that. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be basically the first one into your pose and holding, because that shows the judges that you've practiced, you've done your homework, you're holding your pose, you're conditioned to holding your poses, and you can sit there with a smile on your face all day long and just hold. Because if you're the first one into your pose and you're holding it, they're going to be looking at you first. And if I've got a guy over here that's winding up, showing all of his pizzazz and everything like that, they're going to be like, well, who's holding their next pose? Because in the morning time when the prejudging is, and we're not looking for the pizzazz.
Yeah.
You have a routine for that.
Yeah.
We want to see the mandatory poses. That's why we have the mandatory poses.
Right.
They are specifically designed so we can compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. And that way you get to that pose, you hold it, and then we can sit there and look at everybody in that same pose. And it's not body parts that we're looking at. We're looking at every pose as a whole. If somebody's missing body parts, that's where we start nailing you.
Yeah,
we start picking you apart.
Yep.
He's got a shallow chest. He's got no rear delts. He's got no quads. It's not like they don't have them. They just need more of it.
Yeah.
And that's how we start picking them apart like that. And we find the person that has the most complete physique up there in every single pose.
Yeah.
That's why they're the mandatory poses. So that's why it's so important to get there and hold them. Because if you don't, and you're over there showing your pizzazz, well, we're going to move on.
Yeah.
Because it's a live show. That's not what we and the judging criteria doesn't say, show us your pizzazz.
Yeah.
It says, show us this mandatory pose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your individual routines is when you get to show off your pizzazz. And like the morning time, we give that, 45 seconds to come out and do your individual routine. That's your time to shine and say, here's my best poses. That's why it's always strongly encouraged to people, like when you're doing your routines, to not do your mandatory poses in your individual routine, because we're going to see those.
Yeah.
If you have other poses that show off your physique really well, do those.
Gotcha.
Because then that way it gives us a different look of you, because we're going to see the mandatories.
Yeah.
That's your time to shine. That's your time to show your pizzazz and put your personality into your routine and show us, who you are, and as far as that's concerned and stuff. And, you can catch some judges' attentions from having a great posing routine in the individuals, and they could be like, man, he did some really great poses, let's see what he does with the mandatories.
Yes.
And that can kind of put your number in their head, so that gives you an advantage of them looking at you.
Gotcha.
Some different little things like that make big differences, especially on this level. Every little thing counts.
Yes, it does.
A shoulder too high, a shoulder here, not enough of a rotation here, tilting back a little bit too far.
Yeah.
All those things can be the differences between a first and a second.
Right. Well, and also I look at it as you don't want to give out an IFBB Pro card to somebody that really doesn't deserve it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you get those cards, even from the local level all the way up to get your Pro card, what the judging panel is saying is that this was the best person that day at that show. This person is ready to move to the next level. What person up there is ready for the next level?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if the judges don't pick the right person and they go up to the next level and they just bomb, and then some people, people are going to be like, well, how did you get here? How did you get to this next level?
Yeah.
With that kind of performance and that kind of look. Obviously sometimes people miss their mark as far as their peak conditioning and stuff like that. But when you get to that level, you shouldn't be missing your mark.
Yes.
You should be very close to being able to duplicate that every single time.
Right.
That's why you're at that level.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So let's take a look at that individual routine.